When the weight of life hits hard, shepherding your family starts with one step: steady, faithful, and always looking to God. Welcome to the Men of the Shepherd. Today, God's promise, Psalm 46:1. God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. Today, brothers, I'm looking back, not just to remember, but to reflect on how God shepherded me when everything in life seemed to break apart. There was a time when my marriage crumbled suddenly and without warning. I was just starting to understand who Jesus was, trying to learn what it meant to walk with him, and then it all fell apart. My family felt like it was gone forever. I couldn't see a way forward. For over 3 years, maybe longer, I sat in that crushing grief. It wasn't just sadness, it was the weight of feeling like my family was lost. Like I'd failed at the most important thing that God ever asked me to steward. I was a husband and a father, but in those dark moments, I felt like I was neither. I turned to the church, hoping the leaders and pastors would know how to help me find my footing. But they didn't. Some were unprepared, some were unwilling, and some simply didn't know what to do with a broken man who needed more than quick answers. Instead of comfort, I got judgment. I was told to try harder, pray harder, or just move on. None of it touched the deep places where I was hurting. But brothers, here's where God's grace showed up, when no one else could. Every day in the dark stillness of my house, I prayed. My only prayer was this: Jesus, protect my children. Make me a strong father. That was it. No fancy words, no long requests, just a shepherd's cry for his flock. I didn't pray for my marriage to be restored. Somehow I knew deep down, I knew that that door was closed. What mattered most was that my children knew God and that I found the strength to be the father they needed, one who could show them the strength, love, and grace of Jesus. Now, 15 years later, I see my children strong in their faith. They want to know God, not because I forced it, because they saw me on my knees, seeking God's face, trusting his strength when mine was gone. They love his word. They talk about Jesus at the dinner table, in the car, in the middle of chores and laughter. The work of God is part of our life because it became part of my survival. Even when I couldn't see the outcome, God was there, shepherding me as I learned to shepherd them. It was a very slow, steady work, the kind that no one else sees, the kind that doesn't come with applause or quick results. But that's the work that counts for God. Steady, unseen, but fully surrendered to him. 2 Corinthians 4:18 reminds us that the things that are unseen are eternal, and that includes the quiet prayers of a father who refuses to give up. This is the heart of shepherding. It's not a flashy title or a moment of glory. It's the quiet prayers, the steady faith, the way you keep going step after step when you can't see what's ahead. It's the moments no one notices, but God sees every single one, and he gives you the strength to take the next step. The streams of God's grace, like rivers in Psalm 46, have carried me through every season, not because I'm strong, but because his strength never runs dry. Every time I felt too weak to keep going, his grace was there, steady and flowing, filling the gaps where I fell short. As men of the shepherd, our first church is our home. Our first responsibility is to the flock God placed in front of us. Our wives, our children, and anyone who looks to us for strength and guidance. And the best way we lead them is by being men on our knees, seeking the Father's face, praying for his strength, and walking in step with him every single day. We are knights of the sword, brothers, and our prayers for our wives and children are some of the most powerful weapons we carry. Faith and family first. That's the heart of a man of the shepherd. So your shepherding in action value for today: perseverance strengthens our character as shepherd leaders. by teaching us to trust God's steady work, even when we can't see the outcome. Be sure to check in the article for reflection questions and the Bible references, and there's also a prayer for you for those who have trouble finding prayer. There's a little piece there to help you along the process. God bless you. God be with you. Shalom.